Welcome to the Angel Mystic Podcast. I am super excited you are listening because this is where spiritually open minds can come together to explore the wonders of angels, spiritual connections, and the art of manifesting. Hosted by me, Amanda Tooke, the Angel Mystic, your spiritual midwife to help you on your journey to a fulfilling and happy life. You may have seen me on ITV, Channel 4, or even in Fate and Fortune magazine. In each episode, we will delve into the mystical world of angels, offering you insights, guidance, practical tools to deepen your connection with the upstairs so that you can find inner peace, happiness, joy, and create the life that you want. Tune in for weekly, fun conversations, transformational insights that will elevate your spiritual journey and awaken your inner mystic. Please hit subscribe now as we embark on a transformational adventure with the Angel Mystic Podcast. Welcome back to the Angel Mystic Podcast. In this podcast today, we are talking about the power of positivity. I can already feel my voice is starting to wobble. I feel like spirit are going to come in and take over for this podcast. This is actually podcast number 20. And today, like I say, it is talking about the power of positivity, but for you. We all know that being positive is a useful, helpful thing to do that makes us feel better. But we also know that it isn't always easy to stay positive because life throws curveballs at us. Life throws problems at times. There's things that we need to navigate. So staying a positive Polly isn't always possible. But in this podcast today, I wanted to take a bit of a dive into the world of positivity and offer you some practical tips to help cultivate a sunnier outlook, because it enhances your overall well-being and turns you into a great manifester. There's so many times that I hear people sharing their manifesting journey, all excited at the beginning, wanting to, create whatever it is they want. They've got great gusto and excitement and, I'm going to do this. And then things crop up. Maybe some limiting beliefs come along. Maybe there's an odd comment that is made to them and it starts to make them wobble. And that is the time when we need to push through, when we need to be positive and say, I am still going to manifest what it is that I want, and not roll over and just take what you've always had. This is how people end up being really successful manifestors, because they push through when that negativity arrives. And any time that you feel a little bit of negativity coming on, or maybe you're feeling a little bit down mooded, a little bit blue for whatever reason, the only thing you need to do in that moment is make yourself feel a little bit better. That's your only job. Your only job is to take one step in to the power of positivity and feel a little bit better. It's likely that you already know that positive thinking can literally change your brain. It really absolutely can. And we do have the ability to do that for ourselves, to adapt and strengthen those pathways associated with all of that and get rid of the optimism from ourselves. We can all reprogram our brains. We really can. But this podcast is really about going beyond blind optimism. It's about having some real good strategies. That's what I want to give you, some strategies that are going to help you be more positive and adapt to challenges and changes that are happening in life and staying in that positive vibe. The thing is, if you stay naturally high vibe and positive, you are naturally going to attract more good stuff to you. You're going to be an amazing manifester, even if you're not a specific manifester and manifesting specifically what you want. If you're a more sort of relaxed, non-specific manifester, that energy is your vibe, and that's like the little magnets that are attracting more good things to you. So It's really important to sort of look at how you feel and have an awareness of how you feel all the time. I often say to people, set a reminder on your phone, maybe 10 times in a day. And when that little bell goes off, tune into yourself and say, how am I feeling? Are you more negative or are you more positive? Are you more of a positive Polly that we talk about in Abundance Club or a negative Nelly? Now, it's impossible to be a positive Polly all the time, but we don't want to be in the Nelly camp if we can really help it, because we don't want to attract bad things to us. We want to be moving into the world of Pollys and attracting more good things into our reality. Now, we have a training coming up. It will have already started, actually, by the time this podcast goes live. It's running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the 22nd, 23rd and 24th of July. So if you haven't signed up yet, you still will be able to get the replay if you're watching it within this week and maybe even up to the end of July, or you're listening, should I say, to this podcast. So make sure you come and join us in that training, because I want to support you to be as positive as you can, because I know it makes a world of difference. I also know that we probably all know some negative Nellies. Some of us might live with them, and that is really draining. Really can just suck the life out of you when all they're looking is for problems and moaning and groaning and complaining, and it's just not a good vibe. And then they wonder why their life is not moving in the direction that they want, because they're just naturally looking for things to moan and complain about. Now, I consciously like to be aware, so I do set alarms on my phone. I do tune into myself and think, how am I feeling? Am I working in alignment with what it is that I want? But I also like to hang out with positive Pollys. I'm very cautious where I spend my time, and importantly, who I spend my time with. So if I spend any time with you, think yourself lucky, because quite honestly, there's a lot of people I can't spend time with just because I don't want to be in that world of negativity. I want to be as positive as I can. So I am, looking to hang out with positive Pollys. That's what I love about Abundance Club. It's full of people that are not positive all the time, but they know the power in positivity, and they know when they're feeling a bit negative, it shows that they've got some work to do, and they're willing to do that work, to work on themselves, to be empowered and not be a victim in life. It's really about shifting our focus and training our brain to focus on the good stuff. So you can identify positive things that are around you already. There will be so much in your world, in your environment already, that you can be thankful for and positive about. But it's easy to get on the moaning and groaning train and let it run away with you. But trust me, when you do that, you're only going to be manifesting all the things that you do not want. You are manifesting in every given moment. Every second of the day, your energy is going out and attracting more of the same. That is what law of attraction is. So the more that you can be aware of that, the more that you can use tools when you're not feeling positive to move back into positivity, the more powerful you become in manifesting the good things that you want in your life. I so often see people that'll come into a group and do a little introduction of themselves, and they like to list all the things they've been through, all the difficult things they've been through. It might be loss, it might be bereavement, it might be ill health, money problems, and they wear the problems like a badge of honor. We've got to ask ourselves, does that help? Because unless you've understood the lessons and the learnings that were attached with those difficult situations, you haven't empowered yourself. You haven't grown. You're staying stuck in that mode and focused on the negatives. And guess what? You're just attracting more of the same. So if this is resonating with you, make sure that you come and catch the replays of the Great Positivity Challenge that's happening this week, because it really will help you. And some of the things that I like to do Gratitude is the only attitude. There is always something to be grateful for, even in the darkest of situations, even in the saddest of situations. There will be things that you can be grateful for. And it's about digging deep and pinpointing those little speckles of gratitude that are around you and cultivating that so that more will grow. Now, that is something that you could write down in a journal and write what you're thankful for and do it with a sense of appreciation. There will be so much in your life that you're taking for granted because that is what we do. We only appreciate our health when we no longer have it. We only appreciate electricity when we have a power cut. There is so much that we are just taking for granted every day, and we need to be more present and more grateful. So working with the attitude of gratitude is a great way to stay really, really positive. And then sometimes we need to reframe our reality. When those negative things come along, those difficult situations, instead of dwelling on the setbacks and thinking, oh my goodness, this is a nightmare, this is a disaster, and, making those negative emotions gather even more momentum, we need to stop it in its tracks. When I got the news 2 weeks before Christmas, some years ago, that I was being asked to leave my house and I had to move out, it was such bad timing, and I really loved that house and I wanted to stay there, but my landlady wanted it back for herself. So I decided to adopt the attitude of saying to myself, I wonder what wonderful things can come from this. So when you're going through something that feels a bit of a stretch and a bit difficult, start saying to yourself, I wonder what wonderful things can come from this. And learn to reframe that reality, that something that might feel initially like bad news might be the best news you ever get. Be aware as well of the mental chatter, that sort of little chats that you have in your head where you are doing that internal dialogue and maybe you're talking negative to yourself. Replace that with positive affirmations, or when you catch yourself saying negative things to yourself, do a positive thing on the end of that so you can balance it out. And find things that uplift you. It might be music, it might be watching a movie, following positive people on social media, hanging out with positive people, but look for inspiration, because that's so important to have things to aspire to and things that you can try, tools that you can use when you are feeling blue and needing to lift your mood. So making, mindfulness practices part of everyday life, doing meditation, breathing exercise can really, really help you have a more positive outlook. I love meditation. I love breath work. I find that sort of just takes me into that place of inner peace, no matter how crazy life might be. Because trust me when I say all my ducks are not lined up. They are so not. It's something I have to work on. I am not positive all the time. It is a conscious decision to always look for the rainbows when it's raining. Look for the stars in the sky. Look for the things that you just take for granted. Keep working on yourself, because this is how you naturally attract magic and miracles into your life. It would be wrong for me to say that, you're never going to have a problem again if you work with positivity, because those things, those challenges that come along, it's about learning from them. It's about how you can overcome that obstacle and become so much stronger. We all face difficulties, but instead of dwelling on the negative, reframe them as challenges and opportunities for growth and learning, and ask yourself, what am I learning from this? What am I supposed to be learning from this? Because there will always be a lesson and a learning. And if you're starting your day as soon as you wake up and you're giving some gratitude, maybe for the comfy pillow the roof over your head, even if it isn't the roof that you really want over your head. Maybe you're wanting to move house. Maybe it's the running water, the warm shower, whatever it might be, hearing the birds outside. If you can be more thankful for the little things, you're going to set your day up in a really positive way. And then challenge yourself to find more positives. Teach your brain to seek out the good stuff and look at the positives throughout the day. You could recap them at the end of the day by doing a gratitude list, because there is always wonderful things happening, even in this crazy, bizarre world that we are in right now. It might be a funny moment with a friend, a kind gesture as somebody lets you out at a junction, the rays of the sun trying to peek through the very grey clouds that we keep getting at the moment. There will always be something you can be grateful for. And when you're telling yourself, I can't do this, say you can. I can and I will. I can learn and I can improve. And even if you do not feel like it, smile, because that can trick your brain into feeling happier. Make that conscious effort throughout the day to smile, even if you're feeling a little bit down, because it will help you and it will help others. So that's it for this podcast today. I hope you found that helpful. I hope you've understood how being positive is going to help you manifest what it is that you want. And if you want more of this good stuff, please please share, please review this podcast, and come into the free training that's happening this week. Until next time, remember your angel is just an ask away. Bye for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If so, please hit follow and share my message by sharing with your friends. It would be amazing if you can leave a review. All this will help, and it activates the universal law of the more you give, the more you receive. So it's a win-win. You can find more good stuff between episodes over on social media. Just search The Angel Mystic on Facebook, Instagram or TikTok, or check out the links in the show notes. I'd love for you to connect more over in my free group in Abundance Manifesting, all on Facebook. Hope to see you there.